All right, y'all. I am back with our Black Phone 2 review. Um, if you don't want any spoilers, go ahead and click away. I'm going to get into the movie. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I do encourage everyone to go watch it. Overall, I had a pretty positive experience. I actually am one of the people who think it's better than the original one. I just enjoyed this one more. I thought the story was better, and I love the version of the grabber we got. Anyways, to get into it, basically a quick synopsis is Gwen, the sister from the first one, is still having some dreams and premonitions. Vin is there. He's kind of dealing with some trauma. He kind of handles it much like his dad did in the first one, just with a different substance. They end up going to a Christian camp that their mother was a counselor for, named Camp Alpine. um, Basically, into the story, you get a little bit of a backstory of how everything started, which I wasn't a huge fan of, but I didn't hate it either. Um, I thought a lot of what they did was very good, and we'll get into that a little bit now. Um, First, I thought the grabber was the best part of this movie. I think Ethan Hawke killed it in his performance. I also the cast in general was very good. You get a lot of different people in this cast, the same two original kids, and then you also get the kid that played Robin, which reprised his role as his brother, which was very cool. Um, but to get into it a little bit, you kind of get the backstory that the grabber was also a counselor there, um, which is a cool kind of way to tie it in. They didn't really get into too much to ruin kind of the you know you didn't get too much into it where it made the story confusing. You tied it in. You almost kind of got to where it was going too much into the original one, where they were kind of seemed like they were kind of retconning a little bit, in my opinion. But they handled it very well. Um, you also get um, some to see his first couple victims, which were kids at the camp that he was a counselor at. Um, let's get into some things what I liked about it. Like I said earlier, I think Ethan Hawke as the grabber is turning into another one of those horror icons that we haven't got since probably Terrifier and Art the Clown. Um, Again, I believe this one's better than the first movie. You also get a little bit of a prequel, which is always cool that they are able to tie in a new story into the original that was so kind of loved. And I really believe if you like the first one, you probably might even like this one better. Um, what I didn't like is I loved I loved how vicious the grabber was. I didn't like that in the movie he actually didn't even get a kill count. Besides, it shows kind of how the kids died, um, but there wasn't an actual kill in the movie. Which to me, if you're gonna make him way more aggressive and vicious, we want to see a little bit of kills. And there was two characters that were kind of a very overly like kind of Christian stereotype. They kind of made you think that they were going to kill him, and they didn't. He does do some damage, but never actually gets a kill, which to me was very disappointing. Um, Also, I forgot to mention this earlier, but what I loved is it's very similar to Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors, which is one of my favorite Nightmare on Elm Streets. Gwen, in her dreams, is able to see and communicate and all that good stuff, and she can actually get injured in her dreams. But to go back to what I didn't like, I felt like once she realized she had powers in the dreams as well, he kind of lost all his scariness in a way, because then it goes straight to them kind of overpowering him and ultimately winning. I do, however, think they set it up for a sequel. By the way, the movie ends um, very open ended, and again, spoiler if you haven't seen the movie, hopefully you haven't got this far into it. He grabs his mask before they throw him back into the lake. I think if they would have left his mask and like one of them kept it, that's kind of a good storybook ending. But when you have him take his mask with you, it almost seems like they're banking that they're going to make a third one. And the way it dominated the box office, they're definitely going to make a third one. And I'm going to make a video here soon about what I'd like to see in the Black Phone 3 and how I think they should handle it. The main thing I would want to see is, again, just him a little bit more vicious, a little bit more of a kill count for sure. I need at least a couple kills that aren't, from the past. Um, Another thing I really really liked is the dream sequence, how they handled the camera. They used kind of that grainy 8 millimeter to kind of show when they were in the dream world, which was a really cool touch. And I hope they keep that style up if they do a third one. Again, the actors and actresses were fantastic in this movie. Everyone you're supposed to like, you really like. Everyone you're the couple you're not supposed to like, you don't really like them. They did a very good job playing the roles. Um, and the guy that leads the council or the camp, he is a very good actor. He was actually in a couple different horror movies. I believe it was one of the Conjurings or Insidious, maybe. Um, but he played his role very good. Overall, like I said, I loved this movie. I think they did a very good job, and again, I think the Grabber is going to be the next horror icon, and hopefully they can continue to get Ethan Hawke because he absolutely kills it in this role. Overall, out of 10, I give it about an 8.5, almost a 9. I think if they would have got some more kills, or any kills, to be honest, it would have went up a little bit. Because, like I said, he was so vicious in this movie. But once they figured out, they had powers in the dreams, kind of took it out for me because it just seemed like the kind of fear for him went away, and that's something for a horror movie like this you don't really want, especially when you don't get the Grabber until halfway through the movie. You don't actually get to really see him. So once you do see him, he's super scary, and then it almost cuts right to where, okay, Gwen's got powers, in the dream world, so she doesn't really fear him anymore. There's a danger. I will say the part in the middle when you first get him is very good. But yeah, overall, like I said, really good movie. Gave it an 8.5 out of 10. Definitely recommend watching it. Please let me know in the comments what you thought of the movie and subscribe to the channel. Thank y'all. See you in the next one.